All right, guys, I've talked numerous times about how important side projects are, and a lot of people have struggle with trying to figure out what to do, what to build, and how to get started. So today I have 29 side projects ideas that are going to help you in your career in one way or another, and you're going to learn a lot, and it's going to make you a more attractive candidate, and you're going to become a better developer in the process. And it may surprise you, not all of them include you actually writing code, just sort of being in the realm of things. And one thing I want to say, I would normally say this at the end of the video, these are 29 ideas that I came up with. If you're watching this video, share your side project in the description below. A lot of people take inspiration by seeing other people go and build something from scratch. And if it's not on this list, definitely share it. And I'll approve all the links if you guys have a website or whatever it is. Just share it. I want people to see your side projects and be inspired by them as well. But at the very least, here's 29 bad or good ideas, but they're ideas, and you choose the one that works best for you. Since we're talking about building things and building side projects, I thought this was a good time to talk about the Humble RPG Maker software bundle. There'll be a link in the description. It'll help me out if you decide to buy anything if you use that link. And for $1, you can get four games here. If you're not familiar with RPG Maker, something I actually used to use on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. Basically, what it gives you are a bunch of tools to build your own sort of old school RPGs. Let's see if we can mute this and jump in to a point in here. But it really gives you an idea of how you can build your own games. It gives you appreciation for building your own worlds, and it's cool. It's on Steam. You can share it, and it keeps on going, and you get more and more tools. Until you get to the $50 tier. But you for $1, $7, $15, you can get all of them in there. It's a cool way you can help me out. And as always, guys, if you're interested in that, when you go to pay, you can decide to, hey, I want to give it all to charity. Hey, I want to give it all to Dylan. Whatever it is, it's a cool way you can help me out. So thank you so much, and don't forget to use the link in the description. As anyone with 29 ideas would tell you, it's good to have it on piece of paper. So idea number one, and I'll try to go through this in a reasonable amount of time, a podcast. That's something that I'm working on. And why is podcast good? One, you're going to be introduced to a lot of different developers. You're going to be able to pick their brain. And two, it helps you build a brand. It shows that you can commit to something. And you don't need to have a daily podcast. You could even have a weekly or bi-weekly podcast where you maybe have a YouTube channel where you put it up, but at the very least you have it on Android or Spotify and go from there. You'll be introduced to a lot of different things, and it's really, really great to take that. Idea number two, a blog. Code, not any blog. I don't want you talking about, Pokemon, right? Unless you're building a Pokemon application you're going into detail about, but have a blog related to code. Talk about, and a lot of people are worried about, well, I just started coding a week ago. That's okay. It really is. When I started my channel, I was a scrub, and I'm still a scrub, but I'm much less of a scrub than I was then. And the reason I say that is you could start your blog about just your journey. You may not even be ready to write a technical blog yet, and that's okay. But you could start writing about what you struggled and why you're transitioning, and it doesn't need to be a daily thing. A subscriber of mine in live stream the other day said I was gonna write a blog every day. No, you're gonna burn out. You're not gonna have anything to talk about every single day. What I would say is try to write one blog a week. One 500-word blog. You don't have to really put a word count on it, but make it a high-quality, great blog and go from there. So number three, a YouTube channel, right? My YouTube channel has taught me so much just by being able to commit to something long-term. It's also a great way to build a personal brand in the coding space. And I'm not saying a YouTube channel on a video game channel. You're going to gain things from that, but not necessarily as a developer. It's kind of cool if you share it, but I would say start a coding channel. It could be whatever you want. You could do a tutorial. This is something that I'm personally building a course on. So if you want more detail about that, I'm hoping to have it out by the end of October. That's the end of the idea for the course. But YouTube channel is definitely something that you can go to help promote your your career. Now, idea number 4, a Facebook group. And I have my own Facebook group, Code Tech and Caffeine. These are something that you can start, have people who are interested and passionate about coding share things, and you can moderate it, and you can create it, and you can put that on your resume and show that you're interested, and just be an active member of it. A Facebook group is something that you can create, start, and you could start today. It may not have as many members. You may have to get creative on how to get people to join to it, but it's a great thing to get started. Idea number 5, build a web game. Build a HTML5 game. There's a lot of games. Build a unique one is what I'm trying to say. Don't build a tic-tac-toe game. Don't build Hangman. Build your own game. Whatever it is that you're interested in, build a game around that, and that has the ability to grow, right? This is one of the projects, like the blog, like the podcast, like the YouTube channel, like the Facebook group, that can be a long-term project that you start on day one, and it may not be everything you want it to be, but it's going to evolve as you evolve as a developer. So come up with a game. Build a web-based game. Idea number 6, volunteer. I volunteer through code.org and other organizations. This is another great side project or side idea that you can have on your resume. I volunteered. I've given speeches. I've helped prepare lesson plans. I've answered questions for teachers and developers for those lesson plans. And I sign up through code.org for Hour of Code every year. This is another great, it's not necessarily a side project, but another idea that you can help to add something to your resume. Idea number 7, start a meetup group. My friend Christine, when she was learning off of Free Code Camp, she started a meetup in downtown Los Angeles where she started with 2 people. It got up to like 10, and she maintained the meetup all the way up until she got a job, and then she stopped, unfortunately. But meetups are great places to not only meet people, to learn, to interview developers, find jobs sometimes. But if you start it, it's another great thing that can maintain it and keep it alive. It's a great thing, great looking side project on your resume. Idea number 8, this one's a little bit more of a coding one. Build an API. Build something. Build a backend for something. An example I would want to give is but you could build a jokes API where it tells programming jokes, and maybe whatever it is, but building an API is something you can do quick and efficiently, and you can expand upon. And depending on what it is that you're passionate about in life, you can definitely take that and run with it. But you could do that. And API / programming language, right? That's kind of, I have that slash there. So how can you build a programming language? It'd be very interesting for you to go do that research, but it's not as hard as you think, right? So if you don't know this, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a programming language where it's like functions and variables and types are in like his quotes, like get down. It's like a string or something, right? So you could do something like that where that would be a very interesting side project where you say, look, I'll just use Pokemon as an example. I built a Pokemon programming language. You go and build something like that. You're not going to build it overnight, but it's definitely going to be an interesting side project that's going to set you apart from everybody else. Idea number 9, build a plugin for one of your favorite tools that you use, right? We live in a day and age where a lot of applications, whether it be a web browser or whether it be a gaming, let's take League of Legends. Say you love League of Legends. You can build plugins, and you can build skins, and you can build scripts for that. That is something that'd be interesting to be on your project, right? You could build that and then give it away for free or charge a fee, a freemium model, whatever it is. A lot of these things you can monetize down the road as well as the money that you would get by being a developer and being employed and learning and growing. Number 10, this is for somebody who is a little bit more senior, but you could mentor, or you could start a mentoring side sort of gig / advice side gig, and you just got to market it a little bit and maybe create a website for it. But mentoring, helping people out, tutoring people, this is another great side gig where you can just sort of create a basic site, you mentor people, and that would be another great side gig as well, side project. Idea number 11, hardware. Get a Raspberry Pi, get an Arduino, build something, right? A lot of these hardware projects, they involve code. Raspberry Pi, I think, or Arduino can have like 8 or 9 different languages, and JavaScript is now one of them. C#, C++, all these sorts of things. Java, build something. And it's okay if you go and get a kit and you build something, but build something unique to you. The example I give for me is I would like to get a Raspberry Pi and like get a red bulb and hook it up to a YouTube API, and every time I get a subscriber, it just flashes for like 5 seconds. Nothing crazy, but that would be a unique project to me, and you could put that down in your side projects ideas, and that will show an employer that you're an interesting person that's eager and you're trying to build things and you enjoy this, right? So look into the hardware aspect. Idea number 12. This is for someone who's a little bit more money hungry / wants to start an interesting thing. It's very easy to start a basic hosting company. Buy your own server, set up your hosting, and then rent out hosting space to your friends. Set up a website, and you might maybe throw some ads up on Craigslist. This is something that'd be a very interesting side project, especially if you're more interested in servers and databases than anything else. Idea number 13. This is something I'm also working on right now. Build a Chrome extension. I use things like Honey, JSON formatter, the what do you call this? The React tools. But anyhow, so I use a bunch of Chrome extensions. I'm actually working on building one right now. Every Friday, I get 2 hours to code on anything I want. It doesn't have to be work-related. It's actually encouraged not to be work-related. And what I'm building right now is a Chrome extension that whenever I get a JavaScript console error while I'm in my debugger, it will actually inject a coding meme one time to kind of just have fun with it, right? Because it's frustrating when you get bugs in your code. That's the idea. That's what I'm working on. So you could build a Chrome extension to whatever it is that you're interested in. Idea number 14, participate in a hackathon. Go to a hackathon. You're going to build something. It's often going to be with an API you're not familiar with. There's your project. There's your side project. And you can continue it on if you want, or you don't have to, right? I've talked about my YourTube project. Go watch that video where I talk about failing it's like part of being successful is failure. I forget what I called the video, but it talks about that project. That's something that I put on my resume. It's a unique project that I'm proud of, even though it's back when I barely could code, right? Idea number 15, sell a coding product. Start a clothing brand, store, notebook, shirt, right? You don't necessarily have to have a coding channel to start get involved in the coding culture. And one of the cool things that you can do is if you are good at graphic design and good at web design, you can start designing your own logos, right? And selling coding products and coding shirts. You can start with one shirt. That would make a very interesting side project. Let's see here. So build a software as a service to replace an old style company. This one's kind of a large long-term project, but I encourage you to take on those long-term projects so you continue to grow and evolve. So software as a service is an industry that's growing very rapidly. And what it basically is it means that we're taking something old and we're making it new and providing it as a service with software. A good example of that is Uber, where you used to have to call taxis, and now we have an app that kind of, it does it for us. Or we used to do accounting by hand. Now we have TurboTax. You could build something. That's a very large project. But you could find a smaller and better example than what I gave as to where you could get started for that. Number 17, build a Trello board. Build a Trello board showcasing how to learn a very specific skill set over a 6-month period and share it and post blogs about it and continue and throw it on there. I think it's a good I really think that's a pretty cool thing, because not only can you show that you have a game plan and how far you are along that game plan, you can show to employers that will look at this and say, this guy's learning the right things. This guy is on a path and he's motivated, and if he does what's on this list, he's definitely a great candidate. Build a text editor plugin is number 18. Number 18, build a text editor plugin. Have you ever been in a text editor? Like, I use Visual Studio Code, and you're like, damn, man, I wonder if there's an extension that exists for that. The next time you think that, don't only look for the extension, but when you don't find it, build that shit yourself and get going. This is something that'd be a very cool, very appreciated plugin. It's also something that your employers could actually just implement themselves. If they like it, you're going to get a job, right? Build a hybrid app. If you ever wanted to build a web application, building a mobile app is great, right? That's something that you can put onto the market, so it's going to push it out there, and the employee can download it and get started. Number 20, this is for maybe the little more experienced developers, but build a course. Build a course, a coding course, build a software course, web development course, whatever it is that you think you can build, provide value to, and help educate people, build a course. And it's something that you can definitely throw on your resume in your side projects and it would look amazing. Number 21, write a book. And you're saying, oh, Dylan, most of these I would say about 75% of these you could start today, entry level. Some of these, including this write a book, is entry level. And you're saying, well, I'm not going to write a technical book. Neither am I. Most of us never will. I'm writing a book right now. I don't work on it as much as I should, but the book is essentially 100 stories of developers and how they got started. One of the very most interesting things I find is seeing how everyone's path is different. Mine has been different than Program with Eric, then Traversity Media, then Chris Hawks. Everyone's path is different, and it's great to sometimes read up about that. And that's one of my books that I want to write, and it's going to be a great portfolio item down the road. 22, build a web app. This may seem crazy, but we really haven't talked about that. Minus maybe the API, but have you ever actually built your own web application? Have you ever built something that's up there? And I'm not talking about like a calculator or a Simon game where you can find tutorials. Build your own custom web application and a custom project. Build it, whatever it is. One of the things I have this crazy idea for this custom dashboard that I want to build. That'd be an example of a web app that there are other dashboards out there, but not like what I want to do. So build a web app, as crazy as it sounds. Number 23, start a magazine. This could be a digital e-magazine, but there's a lot of cool news coming out in software, and maybe you write about it, curate it a little bit, start a digital magazine, or even a print magazine. So if there was a coding magazine that I could pay $5-10 a month for, I totally would. That's a little bit more of an outlandish one, but hey, it's an idea. Number 24, start an open source project. Start a very grand project that's open source and see if you can jump in or work on one as well. So that one might overlap a little bit with one or two of the other ones, but hey, I'm trying here, people. 25, get a certification, right? And it's not really a side project, but it's equally as important for your resume. Go and get a certification in whatever it is that you're interested in. You're interested in JavaScript, there's a certification out there that you can go and get in that. You're interested in Java, there's a certification that you can go from Oracle and get that. You're interested in Linux, there's a certification for that. Go spend your time and get that certification for your resume. Now, number 26, compete / work on and rank high on an algorithm site. You guys see me rank up on code fights? At a certain point, that's going to look very good to put that on my resume. And even if they don't know what it is, I can throw on their code fights level blah blah blah, and they'll say, "What is this code fights ninja class thing?" And I was like, I solved 300 algorithms, and this is what it is, and it's just a high ranking. I thought it was kind of cool. It shows that you're unique and that you're studying. Another great thing that you can do. And number 27, a web crawler. This is something that's maybe a little bit controversial, but show that you have a web crawler, that you've built a web crawler, and make it viewable so people can see the crazy amount of stuff that you can just rip data off the internet. That's a cool little project. Number 28, an Instagram coding meme channel or site or profile, whatever you want to call it. Build that. It's fun. You're going to enjoy it, right? It's something that I want to start eventually. I just haven't got around to it because I'm always starting side projects. And I love side projects. And number 29, an analytics / fintech project. Analytics and financial tech is a huge industry. This is something that you could get going. If you're interested in cryptocurrencies, if you're interested in stock trading, there's a bunch of APIs you could use and get started with it. These are just a few of the ideas. So quite a bit. I mean, this is what I was able to come up with and just kind of freelancing. 29 ideas, maybe like 26. Some might have overlapped a little bit, but I hope at the very least it got your juices flowing. As I said in the beginning of this video, please, please, please share your ideas, share your projects. I want people to see this, and I want you all to start a side project. It will make you the most interesting candidate. It will make you so much of a better developer, and you'll enjoy coding a lot more once you find a side project you enjoy. And it may not be the first one you start, it may not be the second one, but you eventually will find one that you fit your groove and you'll enjoy it. And you may start a couple and it may become part of your life, and that if that's the case, you're going to become a much better developer over your lifetime. I encourage you all to do it, and I hope that these 29 ideas or so, or we'll call it 26.5. This 26.5 ideas helped you out. I wish you all the best. I really do. That's why I make lists like this and videos like this, because I want you guys to succeed. Because I'm doing very well ever since becoming a developer, and I encourage you all to do your best and continue to grow and grind. And I think side projects are a huge part of that. So thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Support me on Patreon. Join the Facebook group. Join the Discord channel. All that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Quick shout out to DevicePlus.com. If you're interested in the latest IoTs, hacks, do-it-yourself projects revolving around Arduino and Raspberry Pi, they have some great how-to guides. I highly encourage you to check them out, and thanks for watching.